Greeting fellow modelers. In this video, the second to last one, let's deal with the ventral gunner position. Also, time to assemble the tail of this bird and give her the wings. So let's dive in. Finally, it is time to put the whole model together. I love the fuselage. It looks quite nice here. So, time to put the fin in. We test, we figure out how to make it vertical compared to the cockpit. And then we add also the stabilizer, making sure to keep both sides level and secure it with some super glue. Now, as you can notice, it looks pretty good here. Now we're going to add the fairing for the tail surfaces. Here we have the fairings, and these small ones are what we'll take. After cutting off the excess, we're going to use the tip of our brush and put a compound curve in it. This is for the fin. So make sure put a curve there on both sides, and it's good to look at some reference drawing on the internet. This you'll find matches up closely to what the birds look like. Give it a little painting so we get rid of the white edges. Put on some glue, tack, and there we have it, looking quite decent. So after we make sure it is snugly fitted to the base of the fin, we're going to repeat the same process with the stabilizer on each side. I can't believe this was my very first build for YouTube. This was in 2020. The tail wheel assembly, it's basically a toothpick, and how I do it is cut a strip about 2 millimeters thick of black cardstock and roll it and glue. So now that you know how I form that wheel, here I'm cutting out where the wheel fits in. We fold it, and before we do that, we're going to just make sure the fit is there, but we're going to pare it down. So I have a small drill. I use any old sander that I found from a nail salon, and that's how I pare down and round my wheels. Clip off the excess, paint the inside of the wheel fork, what hold the wheel, and secure in place with super glue. And there you have it. At this scale, there are certain details, unfortunately, I won't be able to get. So let's just use, for that, a simple toothpick, fasten it with super glue, gonna cut that, paint it, and then put in position. Nice. Find the angle, and I'll secure it with super glue. The tail wheel cover, you see I'm cutting out here, just curve it using that brush handle and just tack in place. And pretty much that's it. Not bad. Not bad at all. Nice. Let's deal with the ventral gunner station. Here is where things got a little complicated, but I love the final result. So we cut the large piece out. We're going to cut, because it's going to be a compound curve, we use our cake decorating tool, use our brush handle. And what I did is glue the segments onto a thin bond paper strip, and then I can attach the segments. And that's what I do as time goes by, attach the segment bit by bit. And it worked pretty well for me. I went to the Royal Air Force Museum and I saw the actual Heinkel He111. And let me tell you, it's amazing when I could actually put my hands on a bomber that I knew was operational during World War II. Here you see we have completed putting that compound curve together, which is a ventral gunner position. We cut out the panel, the glass panels. Okay. And there you go. We just tack what we need to tack in place. And pretty much I'm just grateful that it came out the way it did. Here, I'm cutting the framework now, which will hold the defensive machine gun that's on the underside of this bomber. Here we're painting the inside of the station before we attach the framework. And once I got the framework done, we have to put the panel, glass panel. So we secure it in place with super glue. After we do this, we're going to cut the excess off. And then we just paint the inside just to give it that little touch of realism. I like going into details when doing that. And this now we're going to take our time. I changed the blade for this particular point to use an extra sharp blade. It's almost like cutting out fretwork. Here now I'm going to just secure it to the plastic, and then I cut the other half out. I straighten it using super glue at some point, but also securing that other side now with plastic. Cut off the excess sheet, and basically we have it. This now we're going to glue into this section. Beautiful. Nice. Look at it. Look at it. It's looking pretty decent. Here we're cutting out the gun mount now. This is a rotating segment that's on the model. So we roll it, we're using our brush handle, and we secure the plastic to it, and we put it in position. Test fit, that is. We're going to have to remove this to put the machine gun in, but so far it's looking pretty good. To create the MG42 defensive machine gun, I use toothpick, shave it down, put on the magazine, put the gun handle on, put it into the spindle, and there you have it. Pretty much done with our ventral turret. Just a little paint of the machine gun handle, and we put in place now on the fuselage. Little tacking here of super glue just to fix it in place, and then we carefully go along the edges with the super glue, making sure to keep the form, and then we continue going around the remainder of the aircraft. Main wing integration is pretty simple, straightforward, and exciting. Generous amount of tacky glue all over this place here. Sorry for the bad recording. As I said, first time recording, learning as I go along. Attach the main wing panel, secure in place with super glue. Nice. And now to just add that little framework for the fairing, the wing root fairing there. And this we're going to repeat to the other side. He111p-2. Well, after this, it's a final episode. In this, we finish up with putting in the wing fairing and all this. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for following me this year. Stick around, so many exciting things to come. Take care, my friends. Be gentle to yourself and one love.